She stepped into the boutique like any ordinary shopper, yet the staff and their frosty manager soon found themselves utterly astonished by what she did next. The aftermath of revealing her true self was both surprising and unforgettable. On Rodeo Drive, the Beverly Hills boutique stood as more than just a shop. It embodied the essence of exclusivity. A haven of opulence unfolded as radiant glass doors swung open, embraced by immaculate white marble. In this enchanting space, rows of exquisite designer handbags beckoned, while dazzling jewelry sparkled under the soft glow of spotlights. Racks of clothing, each piece a treasure, were priced at levels that surpassed the average monthly rent, creating an atmosphere of luxury and allure. This place was not meant for casual browsing. Helena, the boutique manager, saw it through that lens. Helena's legacy was built upon a simple yet powerful tenet: protect the essence of the brand. In her domain, a disciplined atmosphere reigned supreme. Conversations were purposeful, glass counters gleamed without a trace of smudges, and anyone who seemed out of place was met with an unwavering resolve. She stood as the guardian of this universe, exuding confidence in her tailored pantsuit and sporting an immaculate bob haircut. She often shared with her team that exclusivity transcends mere pricing. It encompasses the essence of image as well. That Tuesday unfolded just like all the others. At the entrance stood Helena, her sharp gaze scanning for any irregularities, while the store whispered softly to the soothing melodies of classical music. Then the doors swung wide open. A tall, graceful woman stepped into the room, clad in a simple cream coat and large sunglasses that obscured her eyes. As she wandered through the store, her fingers brushed against a rack of silk scarves, while the soft click of her heels echoed on the marble floor. Helena could see right away that this woman was far from ordinary. A subtle discord lingered in the air. Maybe it was the subtle elegance of her attire, or perhaps it was the way she seemed to lose herself in the allure of the jewelry display for an unusually long moment. Helena's senses were stirred. With a smile that danced on her lips yet fell short of her eyes, she approached with a briskness that hinted at untold tales. "Dear madam, a private purchasing appointment awaits us in the days to come. It is with a heavy heart that I must ask you to take your leave." Helena paused, her breath caught in her throat, as the woman lifted her spectacles, unveiling a pair of striking blue eyes that seemed to hold a world of secrets. A fleeting spark of familiarity ignited. Had she crossed paths with her before? Yet, Helena swiftly cast aside the idea. The woman offered a reassuring smile, saying, "I will be with you in a moment." Her voice flowed with calmness and ease. "I simply wished to take in the sights around me." Helena's body coiled with anticipation. Steadfast determination took the place of courtesy. "I regret to inform you that this is a private establishment. Should you desire to arrange a meeting, we are delighted to present you with another time option." The woman's expression held steady for a fleeting moment. With a silent grace, she departed the scene, the sound of her heels echoing in the stillness behind her. A subtle wave of satisfaction washed over Helena as she observed her leave. She felt a sense of duty fulfilled, having protected the essence of the brand. Yet, an unsettling feeling lingered from the encounter. The woman carried herself with a quiet intensity, hinting at an awareness of secrets that danced just beyond Helena's grasp. Helena remained oblivious to the profound impact her actions would have on her thoughts. Initially, Helena brushed aside the incident, allowing it to slip into the background of her thoughts. Individuals came and went from her profession. There were those who sought to weave a tale of deception, crafting an illusion of wealth and grandeur, striving to portray themselves as more prosperous or important than their true selves. She had seen it all unfold before her eyes. A sporadic tabloid journalist on the hunt for a juicy story intrigued guests oblivious to the notion of exclusivity, and aspiring influencers showcasing counterfeit luxury handbags. As the day unfolded, Helena found herself drawn back into the familiar rhythm of her daily life. With an eye for detail, she oversaw the crafting of a fresh collection of couture dresses, ensuring that every hemline was flawlessly pressed before they graced the showcase. She meticulously examined the lighting in the main jewelry exhibit, ensuring that every diamond shone with its utmost brilliance. She viewed the boutique as a grand stage, where she held the reins as the director of her own narrative. She paid close attention to every nuance, no matter how small. Yet, The memory of the mysterious woman lingered in the recesses of her mind as she locked up the store and made her way home that evening. She radiated a sense of grace and calm, as though she were accustomed to receiving the reverence she deserved. Helena had waved her off with the confidence of someone who thought she held all the cards, yet now she found herself contemplating the true nature of the woman in question. The next morning, Helena's routine unfolded just as it always had. She arrived early, her keen eyes scanning the store, ensuring that every item was perfectly placed in its rightful spot. As the morning sun climbed higher, whispers began to weave through the air among the staff. A young woman named Sophia, one of the sales associates, approached Helena, her heart fluttering with a mix of excitement and apprehension. "Have you heard the tale of the woman from yesterday?" Sophia asked softly, her voice laced with excitement. Helena arched an eyebrow, a hint of intrigue dancing in her gaze. "What of her tale?" Sophia embarked on a brief yet purposeful examination before moving forward. This morning, a customer recognized Melania Trump. Helena's hand clutched the edge of the counter, a moment of stillness enveloping her. She directed her attention towards Sophia, letting the idea slowly seep in. Ah, Melania Trump, a figure woven into the fabric of contemporary narratives, her journey marked by elegance and intrigue. With a raised eyebrow and a hint of doubt in her voice, she echoed the statement. Sophia nodded in understanding, her gesture conveying a shared sentiment. They unveiled a photograph on their mobile device, inviting me into a moment captured in time. Without a doubt, it was her. Helena's mind was a tempest of unrest. Could it be true? Had she truly just brushed aside one of the most iconic figures on the planet, all in the name of following the rules? She felt a wave of unease wash over her, yet she skillfully masked it with her usual grace. With a sharp edge to her voice, she stated, "It doesn't matter who she was. Rules are rules. Entry is reserved for those with an appointment only." Yet, Helena sensed that this was no ordinary person. She endeavored to focus on her task, yet an unrelenting feeling of discomfort enveloped her. What might have unfolded had Melania Trump truly been the one at the center of it all? Helena failed to grasp how swiftly words could travel. By the afternoon, the boutique thrummed with lively exchanges, a tapestry of voices woven together from both patrons and employees. Even as Helena sought to assert her authority, the whispers grew louder and more insistent. As one customer browsed through the handbags, she remarked, "She looks so elegant." It is truly remarkable to witness someone act in such a way toward her. Another voice joined the conversation. "I heard she departed without uttering a single word." So refined, yet one can be sure that she was seething with anger. Helena felt a tightness in her stomach as snippets of these conversations reached her ears. The high fashion industry embraced more than just luxury. It thrived, basking in the glow of its esteemed reputation. A single misstep can cast a long shadow over a brand, especially when it involves a figure as prominent as Melania Trump. As Helena scrolled through her phone that evening, a shiver ran down her spine. The tale had captured the attention of social media. An unclear yet incriminating narrative of the incident had been shared by someone, presumably a customer. In a surprising turn of events, a boutique manager made the bold decision to part ways with one of the most celebrated women in the United States, showcasing a rather ungracious act within the confines of what is claimed to be a high-end establishment. Whispers and murmurs surrounded the boutique as the comments buzzed with curiosity, even though the post kept its identity shrouded in mystery. People were marking brands, looking for answers, and confidently claiming their knowledge of the particular place. Helena's ribcage tightened. She tried to convince herself that this moment would pass, casting her phone aside with a flick of her wrist. She whispered softly, "People always overreact online." Yet, a flicker of doubt lingered in her confidence. The next day, her deepest fears came to fruition. A local news outlet briefly speculated on the identity of the boutique, weaving it into the narrative of the incident they covered. Though they did not openly acknowledge it, the coverage was enough to leave her feeling exposed. As the customers trickled in, they came not just to make their purchases, but to savor the sweet nectar of gossip that filled the air. A woman, adorned in oversized sunglasses and cradling a latte, leaned in toward her friend, her voice a conspiratorial whisper that carried, "This is the place, isn't it?" In that moment, Helena's fey of authority began to fray. Yet, she held firm to her position. She held a steadfast conviction. Melania was not coming back. A person of her caliber would not deign to return to the scene of an affront. Yet, Helena was in error. The return was on the horizon, and it could not be overlooked. On a Friday afternoon, as the sun reached its zenith, the boutique was alive with energy. In the sunlit showroom, a vibrant scene unfolded, where elegantly attired patrons explored the racks, while sales associates hurriedly moved about, eager to lend their assistance. Helena held her usual composure as she lingered near the cashier counter. Yet, she could not anticipate the approaching occurrence. As the glass door swung open with a dramatic flourish, Melania Trump, the woman Helena had so quickly brushed aside, made her entrance into the room. Yet, this time, she found herself in the company of others. A cadre of sharply dressed individuals, a woman clutching a stylish leather briefcase, and another figure who seemed to be a publicist formed a compact entourage that followed her closely. A whirlwind of excitement erupted as the camera lights of numerous photographers flickered just beyond the entrance, capturing the moment in a dazzling display. A collective gasp echoed through the air, followed by a whirlwind of whispers that replaced the gentle hum of the boutique. Melania stood tall and composed, her expression a mystery that invited curiosity. A dazzling array of diamonds sparkled with every graceful shift, perfectly paired with an elegant and striking black-fitted dress. She had an enchanting aura that drew the gaze of everyone around her. Helena felt a deep weight settle in her chest. Her cheeks flushed with warmth, and a clammy sensation enveloped her palms as she found herself locked in an unyielding gaze with Melania, a moment that stretched on like an endless tale. Her gaze held no anger or disdain. Instead, it radiated a calmness that unsettled Helena more than any clash ever could. With a poised demeanor, Melania addressed her audience, saying, "Good afternoon." She expressed a desire to delve into the surroundings at this moment. "Is that out allowed?" The weight of the query lingered in the air, impossible to ignore. The employees in the room stood still, their eyes darting back and forth between Melania and Helena. Whispers fluttered like delicate wings as customers leaned in, their curiosity barely contained behind elegantly manicured hands. Helena felt a powerful urge to break the silence, to weave her words into the air and reclaim the moment. Yet, the right phrases eluded her, leaving her voiceless. With a rigid nod, she stepped aside, granting Melania the opportunity to enter the store from which she had been unceremoniously turned away just days before. As Melania wandered through the boutique, her entourage lingered nearby, keenly observing every detail of her journey. She held back from rushing forward. With a keen eye, she examined every display, her fingertips dancing over the fabrics while her gaze paused thoughtfully on the price tags. Helena felt the experience resembled an evaluation rather than a shopping excursion, as if Melania were carefully scrutinizing every corner of the store and every mistake Helena had made. The atmosphere in the boutique crackled with unease. Even the other patrons seemed to tread lightly, their actions growing more restrained as they tried to grasp the situation that was unfolding before them. Helena felt her grip on authority slipping with every fleeting moment. Yet, the pivotal moment that would change everything was still on the horizon, waiting to unveil itself. It was nestled nearby. The boutique buzzed with an energy that crackled in the air, weaving together threads of anticipation and suspense that captivated all who entered. Customers pretended to browse, yet stayed close enough to listen, straining their necks to catch a glimpse. In that moment, the employees found themselves in a haze of uncertainty, yet their resolve to avoid being caught in idleness burned brightly within them. They stood poised and ready. Helena sought to blend into the shadows, yet this turned out to be a task beyond her reach. With Melania's arrival, all eyes turned in her direction. Melania halted before a stunning diamond necklace, her eyes gliding over the exquisite array within the jewelry case. She cast a fleeting glance at the subordinate employee, Clara, a sales associate nearby, as she cautiously made her way over. "May I have the opportunity to behold this item?" Melania asked with a blend of respect and confidence. With a touch of grace, Claire retrieved the necklace, placing it gently on the counter, even as a small fumble threatened to disrupt her moment. "Of course, my lady." Melania took a moment to scrutinize it, then turned her head, casting a curious look over her shoulder. "What tales do you weave in your mind?" she asked, directing her question not at her entourage, but at Helena, who stood motionless just a few feet away. Helena found herself momentarily stunned by the question posed to her. She embarked on a journey to discover her voice, stumbling over her words. She declared, "It is a stunning piece, one of our finest, yet even she could feel the insincerity in her own voice." With a hint of uncertainty, Melania nodded before redirecting her attention back to Clara. With a graceful flick of her wrist, she slid her sleek black credit card across the counter, declaring, "I'll take it." Melania's gaze shifted back to Helena, while Clara busied herself with the final touches of the transaction. Her words sliced through the air with precision, even as her face held a calm and tranquil demeanor. "Isn't it essential to treat every person with respect, especially when their identity is unknown to you?" A hush fell over the establishment. Helena stood at the center of it all, feeling an unsettling tremor beneath her feet, as if the very earth were poised to crumble away. Melania found herself at a loss for words, yet she chose not to linger in silence. Instead, she reached out to her publicist, who offered her a small envelope. With a graceful motion, Melania offered the envelope to Helena, a token of appreciation for their unwavering professionalism. "This is for your staff," she declared. Helena paused, a moment of contemplation passing before she reached out to take it. The envelope felt weighty in her hands, more than she had expected. When she finally opened it later, she would discover a check for an astonishing amount, meant to be shared among the employees. It was a gesture of kindness that stood in sharp relief to the quiet scolding she had just endured. Yet, Melania had more to unveil. She turned to Clara, who still held the diamond necklace, and offered a warm smile that sparkled with intrigue. "Your help today is truly appreciated. Your performance has been truly remarkable." With a graceful stride, she made her way to the door, her companions trailing closely behind her. As soon as she stepped away, the photographers outside sprang into action, their cameras clicking to immortalize every fleeting moment of her exit. The boutique held a quiet stillness within its walls. Amidst the soft murmurs of customers, employees cast puzzled glances at one another, their expressions a tapestry of confusion. Helena's thoughts swirled in a tempest of unrest as she stood resolutely in place. Once, she had overlooked the strength of this woman, but now, the lesson learned would linger in her mind forever. The boutique lingered in a rare calmness for quite some time after Melania's exit. As customers departed, their purchases in hand, a palpable excitement filled the air, each one brimming with tales waiting to be told. The employees, still grappling with the unfolding events, exchanged quiet whispers behind the counter. Helena lingered near the jewelry case, her hands trembling ever so slightly, her complexion drained of color as she fixed her gaze upon the envelope that Melania had offered her. With a gentle click, she shut the door, stepping back into the familiar embrace of her office. As she unveiled the check, a gasp escaped her lips, her eyes growing wide with disbelief, and a quiver danced in her palms. A generous incentive was extended to every employee, a kind-hearted gesture that only deepened the weight of Helena's mistake. She placed the check on her desk, her mind swirling with thoughts. Helena held her professionalism and judgment in high regard, yet today, the veil of her own biases had been lifted, revealing the truth beneath. She had woven a narrative around an individual, crafting assumptions that led her to dismiss them, never pausing to explore the richness of their identity or the respect they truly deserved. The aftermath of her choices suddenly made her pledge to safeguard the brand feel empty. As she revisited the scene in her mind, a new understanding unfolded before her, illuminating the depths of her experience. The boutique transcended mere luxury and exclusivity. It was a realm of experience, and the one she had crafted for Melania was steeped in rejection rather than reverence. Helena felt a deep wave of regret wash over her, understanding that her choices had not only stained her own name, but also threatened the well-being of the store. A sudden tap on her door caught her off guard. Clara lingered in the doorway, a palpable uncertainty hanging in the air around her. "How is your health these days?" she asked with a soft touch. Helena gave a slight nod, even though her throat felt tight and restricted. She conveyed her well-being with clarity, yet Clara remained steadfast in her decision not to leave. As Clara embarked on her tale, her voice wavered with uncertainty. She was not angry. Well, not exactly. It seemed she was striving to share a message, rather than seeking to bring shame upon anyone. Helena locked eyes with Clara, sensing a serene connection that spoke of empathy, free from any trace of judgment. Helena's journey back to reality began with a simple yet profound gesture of kindness. While she still held the potential for change, a few adjustments were necessary. Helena conveyed her heartfelt appreciation to Clara, her voice resonating with sincerity that had been absent for quite some time, and expressed her thanks for personifying all that she felt she lacked today. Before leaving the office, Clara gave a faint smile, one that barely touched her lips. Helena settled into her chair, the check still clutched in her hand, and arrived at a decision. The moment had come to rebuild not just her own reputation, but also the faith that she had carelessly put at risk. With the dawn still whispering secrets, Helena made her way to the boutique, arriving earlier than the sun had anticipated. As dawn broke, the sun cast its warm, golden glow upon the streets, filling the crisp air with a sense of new beginnings. Before she opened the doors, she took a deep breath, promising herself to face the day with renewed determination. Her first duty was to gather the team for a meeting. The employees stepped into the cozy lounge, their eyes darting around, curiosity dancing in their expressions as they found their places. Clara, Sophia, and the others watched intently as Helena revealed a noticeable shift in her demeanor. Helena started, her voice firm yet laced with feeling. "I owe each of you an apology. Yesterday, my perception was clouded by the ideas I had already formed in my mind. In a moment of misjudgment, I wronged someone, and in doing so, I let each of you down. I strive to embody a different kind of leadership, one that reflects the values I hold dear and the legacy I want to create." The room was silent, but the weight of her words hung in the atmosphere, echoing with meaning. Helena continued, "This is an opportunity for us to grow. Respect and compassion must stand firm, independent of an individual's identity or our views of them. That is a lesson I needed to rediscover, and I hold a hopeful belief that we can all keep embracing it." With a gentle motion, she placed the envelope that Melania had entrusted to her upon the table. "This assessment is crafted for each and every one of you. Your skill in navigating the challenges of yesterday shines through, even in light of my flaws. This is rightfully yours." In the room, a tide of appreciation and wonder washed over everyone. Clara, the one most deeply entwined in the events, took the floor. "Helena, my heart is filled with gratitude. Yesterday, it seems we all embraced a fresh understanding." Helena nodded, a wave of relief washing over her. Though she was not without her imperfections, she was striving to set things right. From that day onward, Helena made a vow to ensure that the boutique embodied the values of inclusivity, respect, and decorum, for it was not just a store, but a mirror of the people who brought it to life. As the employees returned to their tasks, the boutique gradually came alive with the presence of eager shoppers. Helena beheld them through a fresh lens, no longer seeing them as ordinary passersby, but as unique souls, each with their own tales, value, and honor. With every interaction, she wove a tapestry of her acquired knowledge, showcasing her insights and experiences. As the days passed, the buzz surrounding Melania's visit began to fade from the headlines, slowly giving way to fresh narratives that captured the public's attention. Yet, the impact lingered on Helena and her team. The meeting unfolded as a crucial chapter, a poignant reminder of the power of remorse and the impact of new beginnings. Furthermore, they had embraced the wisdom of choosing kindness over judgment in a world that often rushed to form opinions. Life often presents us with moments that test our character. This tale serves as a gentle nudge to honor every person with kindness and understanding, no matter who they are. Errors often stem from our assumptions, yet it is the act of recognizing and growing from them that shapes our true character. If this tale struck a chord with you, consider how you might embody kindness in your everyday existence. Furthermore, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to uncover more tales that inspire reflection and growth.